Welcome to Property Wealth Systems A to Z or property investing. Today is H for HMO. As we progress through the video series, don't worry if you miss a video or two, you'll always be able to catch up on a later date. Just save all our emails in your inbox. If you missed last week's G for good debt, then click the link below where you can access all the videos and catch up with anything you've missed. So who are Property Wealth System? We are a collective of professional property investors who have come together to help others achieve their own goals in property investing. Whether you're looking to get started or looking to grow your portfolio, we are here to help. My name is Nick. I am a student of the Property Wealth System, and I am now here to help train and mentor other people, and I'm a full-time property investor myself. In this video, we're going to talk about H for HMO. So what does HMO stand for? HMO means houses in multiple occupation. And this means renting houses to groups of people by the room rather than the whole house to an individual tenant or family. This is a fantastic way to supercharge the income that you can get from a single property. You can easily double or even triple your profits by renting your houses out as HMOs rather than single lets. HMOs, or houses in multiple occupation, have possibly historically been given just a slightly kind of negative profile due to poor quality properties and what have been referred to as kind of slum landlords. However, this kind of rather negative image has been replaced in recent years by professional investors who are out there doing things really, really well and providing great properties to tenants of a really, really high specification. These properties can be suitable for lots and lots of different demographic groups. With the market trending towards increases in job mobility and personal mobility, geographic mobility, what we're finding is that there's lots more demand for tenants looking for small self-contained rooms rather than renting out whole properties for a longer period of time. Houses in multiple occupation can be targeted to many different demographic groups, and there is strong demand in lots of different places around the United Kingdom. These groups include students, professional office workers, industrial workers, and those in need of social housing. So why would these groups of people want to rent a room rather than just go and rent out their own house? Well, let's have a look at some of the examples. So students, for example, they're just going to university, they're away from home for the first time, and often they go into halls of residence for their first year. And then when they get to their second year, they can start tasting that little bit more freedom. And often they traditionally move out into shared houses. This is where they can live out in the market with a group of friends. They can keep their costs down. Students like to keep their cost base really, really low. And so they share a house, they each rent out a room, and this is a student HMO. Professional office workers, on the other hand, they might be postgraduate students wanting to extend their kind of student lifestyle, or possibly older office workers might be employed on a contract basis. The market is trending a lot more towards short-term contracts and for workers to be a little bit more geographically mobile. So what you may find is that what we would call kind of white-collar professionals might move around the country a lot. They might have a home in a different part of the country, and they might go for a 6-month contract somewhere else. So if that's the case, they really, really want to keep their cost base low. Again, they might be working on a contract from a Monday to a Thursday, for example, and go home at the weekends. So an HMO is perfectly suited to this kind of tenant profile, where they can keep their cost base down by just renting a single room rather than a whole house. And they can live there during the week, and then they go home at the weekends. When it comes to industrial, or what we'd call blue collar workers, they move around a lot as well. They might move from region to region as different work contracts become available. So again, this is a fantastic market for your HMOs. It's a slightly different market to the students or to the professional office workers. But what you're going to find is based around industrial regions, you're going to see lots of demand for industrial workers wanting to rent rooms for, again, 6 or maybe 9-month contracts at a time. Again, they want to keep their cost base really, really low because they might live in a different part of the UK or might even live in a completely different country. And so they might be here for a contract and then go to another region or another country, perhaps for another contract. So again, really, really important for those people is to keep their costs down by renting a room where they're only paying a share of the bills rather than, say, council tax for an entire house. So again, a really, really key market for your HMOs. So as you can see, there are lots of reasons why tenants would want to rent a single room rather than an entire house. And as we're seeing in the market, this is a trend that's only getting stronger and stronger each year. So we can see that HMOs can provide an excellent investment model where you can really ramp up the income from a single let by renting it out by the individual room. And we can also see that there's lots of demand from lots of different types of tenant groups for this type of property. However, there is a lot of regulation in the market to weed out those really bad landlords and to really increase the standards and quality of houses in multiple occupation. As professional landlords, we really welcome this legislation as it keeps those bad landlords out of the game and provides more opportunities to the professional landlords to provide really, really high quality HMOs. There is lots to learn about before getting really into this strategy, as there is a lot of legislation around planning and licensing of houses in multiple occupation. You really need to know your stuff before you start, as the penalties can be really severe for renting out houses as HMOs without having the proper paperwork in place. So that's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this brief insight into houses in multiple occupation. Look out for next week's video, which will be I for Investor Mindset. We'd love to see you on one of our Kickstart webinars where you can learn about lots of strategies, including HMOs. Just click on the link below to register. Make sure you download our free HMO ebook and join our community Facebook group where you can connect with and chat to like-minded investors in a very safe and supportive environment.